This is not a story of sacrifice. This is a story about what happens when one unresolved childhood wound creates a war that an entire generation has to live inside. Hi, I'm Dr. Meghna Dikshit. And today I don't want to talk about Bhishma, the warrior, the elder on the battlefield, respected and untouchable. I want to talk about the boy he was before all of that. Because Mahabharata did not begin at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. I believe this story began the day a child carried a pain that was never his. King Shantanu falls in love with Satyavati, and her father has one condition. He says if this marriage has to happen, then Satyavati's children will become the next kings, not your son. Now understand this. Shantanu already has a son, Devavrat. So this is not a small condition. This is asking a father to choose between his love and his child. And Shantanu cannot do it. But instead of saying it and expressing it, he just goes quiet. He carries that conflict inside. And Devavrat notices. Nobody tells him anything. Children don't need words, they feel everything. A child can feel the emotional climate of a home very clearly. So Devavrat does something extraordinary. He goes to Satyavati's father and says, I give up my right to the throne. That alone should have been enough. But it was not. The father asks, what if your children claim it later? And in that moment, something shifts. Devavrat takes, I will never marry, I will never have children, and I will end my own lineage. And the world applauds. They call it sacrifice, honor, greatness. But pause here for a moment. Was that a conscious adult man making a choice? Or was that a child trying to fix his father's pain? Because there's a difference, and that difference changes everything. I have worked with so many high achievers who are living their own version of this oath. They did not take it in a royal court. They took it quietly in a bedroom, at a dining table, in a moment nobody noticed. And they made it the same way. Not out of weakness, but out of love. A child protects in the only way they know how. I worked with a man in his late 40s, a highly successful business owner. From the outside, completely self-sufficient. Built everything on his own. Never needed anyone, or at least that is what it looked like. When we went deeper, he remembered being 11 years old, watching his father struggle financially, feeling that anxiety every single day, and without even saying it out loud, he made a decision. I will never need anyone. That vow stayed with him for 36 years. It made him successful, and it made him completely alone. His marriage was struggling, his children didn't come to him with their problems, his team felt distant from him. And he could not understand why. Because in his mind, he had done everything right, just like Bhishma. Now here is where the story becomes uncomfortable. Bhishma's vow did not just affect him, it affected everyone around him. Because he never married, the system became unstable. And in trying to protect the kingdom, he made decisions that created new wounds. Gandhari was brought into this system, and her brother Shakuni watched, powerless. Some versions say his entire family was destroyed slowly due to Bhishma, and he was the only one who survived, not as a villain, but as a wound. And he spent his life not with weapons, but with strategy, psychology, the dice game, Draupadi's humiliation, the war, and Bhishma, the man who wanted to protect the kingdom, sat there and watched it unfold, while Shakuni took his revenge. This is the part that is hard to accept. Bhishma was not a bad man. He was a good man living from a wounded identity. And right action from a wounded place can still create wrong outcomes. Now I want to be very clear about something here. Healing this pattern does not mean losing everything you have built. It does not mean you stop achieving or stop being disciplined or stop being strong. It only means going back to the moment that vow was made, understanding what that child was trying to protect, and then asking, does this still serve me? With the man I told you about, we didn't remove his strengths. We asked a different question. Can strength also include support, receiving, and ease? Does being strong only mean doing everything alone, pushing harder every single day? The shift doesn't happen through information. It happens when the body feels safe enough to try something different. Slowly, one moment at a time, one honest conversation, one honest different decision, conscious decision, one request for help, one moment of not managing everything alone. That's how the vow starts loosening. Bhishma did not fail because he wasn't good enough. He failed because he never questioned a vow that a child made to earn his father's happiness. The most dangerous premises are not the ones we break. They are the ones we keep long after they stop being true or even resourceful. Before you go, sit with that one question today. What is a vow that you are living that you made before you were old enough to understand its cost? You don't have to answer it perfectly. Just notice it. There's nothing right, wrong, good or bad answer to this. When you name it, is where the change begins. And if this stayed with you, don't just scroll past it. Share it with someone who looks strong on the outside, but might be carrying something quietly inside. And if you want more conversations like this, not just about growth, but about what shapes it, consider subscribing. I will see you in the next one.